President, I bring you your children, descendants of the formerly enslaved. They have waited over 400 years to return the spirits of their ancestors back home to Africa. When the children of Africa were taken out of Africa as slaves, all they ever wanted to do was to come back home to Africa. Each and every one of them that you see, many of them are coming to Africa for the first time. They're bringing with them the spirits of their ancestors to put them to rest here in Burkina Faso.
Je suis ému et très content de vous voir.
I am moved and very happy to see you here in Burkina Faso since the events of the SNC. It is more than a pleasure that you have chosen to come here to Burkina. You have surely been told that it is a country frequentable. We told you that it's death here, it's war.
C'est un pays infréquentable. On vous a dit que c'est la mort ici, c'est la guerre. Il n'y a que du négatif.
There is only negative. We painted Burkina black here, only blood flows, weapons. This is what is said elsewhere. Thank God you arrived safely. You were able to be about the lasso, live with us, our culture, what binds us Africans. You were able to communicate.
Être à propos du lasso, vivre avec nous notre culture, ce qui nous lie, nous Africains.
With many other nationalities who came to celebrate with us, everything went very well. You are of our standing, and I hope that you are very well received, very well lodged, and that you managed to communicate with your brothers here. It is one important message that you send to
President Traore, the reincarnation of Thomas Sankara. President Traore, who has led the struggle to complete the unfinished business that was started by our ancestors and our Pan-African leaders in 1963 when they created the Organization of African Unity. During that meeting, they demanded the creation of an Africa that spoke with one voice, an Africa that was united. That journey is yet to be finished. What is happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, is just the beginning of a revolution that is way past due for Africa. Africa must unite. And Burkina Faso has shown us the way. They have opened the doors. They have shown us that the bully can be defeated. That no more shall we continue to give up our lunch. That we too need to eat. And therefore, there is no negotiating with the bully. The bully had to go, and Burkina Faso showed us how to do it. So, Mr. President, I bring you your children, descendants of the formerly enslaved. They have waited over 400 years to return the spirits of their ancestors back home to Africa.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Shalom, shalom, the house of Israel. Now, you are an African American or you are a Black American who have always had an interest of coming back to Africa, coming back to the motherland. Well, I think this might be a good message for you. This might be a good information for you. Just recently, the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, tried to advise diasporans, African Americans or Black Americans, to come back to the motherland who are interested. And you know, for the longest time, we have the history, a group of Black people that were taken out of Africa. I understand the fact that we also have Black people already in the United States, but the end of it, they came from Africa. Now, you are a Black person who wants to reconnect back to the motherland, want to come back to Africa. Well, Ibrahim Traore got you back. And if you've been following what Ibrahim Traore have been trying to do for black people across the world, he have always strived to put black people, to return black people to the original state. Because you get to realize, if you're a person who understands the black history, if you're a person who understands Africans' history, you get to realize that a lot of the things were looted from Africans. And it is time for black folks, for African leaders to restore this. One of the things that were looted were black folks. Some of the black folks who were taken forcefully. And mark my words, I'm not saying African Americans or black Americans who left who left Africa without being forced, because you already have black folks who are already in the United States even before the Columbus. These are the group of Africans who left Africa without being forced. But at the same time, if you feel like you want to reconnect, because everyone came from Africa, and this is the truth. Now, the good news is the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore is trying to advise people with black descent, African Americans, black Americans, diasporans, Jamaicans, all people from the diaspora. If you are interested in coming back to Africa, he's trying to bring back the black unity, something that was lost, right? Something that was not there. He's trying to connect this. He's trying to make easier for diasporans who want to come back to Africa, specifically Burkina Faso. So I feel like this is an important message for every black folk around the world. So I want us to watch this video. I'll be back and then we'll have a discussion. Probably this is one of the most good news that we have today in this channel. So watch the video. I'll be back and we'll have a discussion about it.
When the children of Africa were taken out of Africa as slaves, all they ever wanted to do was to come back home to Africa. Each and every one of them that you see, many of them are coming to Africa for the first time. They're bringing with them the spirits of their ancestors to put them to rest here in Burkina Faso. And that's mission number one. Mission number two, we have watched you, Mr. President. You stand for everything that we have hoped for in an African man. Courageous, fearless, and in their faces. France, unapologetically, you told France, pack your bags and go home. You, Mr. President, and the people of Burkina Faso have done it, and we have a responsibility to support you. You have over 300 million African diaspora who are looking up to you. We are here to show you that we are with you. We support you. We are behind you. And we will not let you down. Many of us were told, don't go to Burkina Faso. It's a war-torn country. Guns all over the street. Mr. President, we want you to know that the more they told us not to go to Burkina Faso, the more we ran to Burkina Faso. No one tells them not to go to Europe, to their countries of origin. Therefore, no one will tell us not to come home to Burkina Faso. So mission number two is to let you, Mr. President, know that you and the citizens of Burkina Faso have done all the heavy lifting. The least we can do is to support you. So we are here. Our third mission is to see what can we do, Mr. President, to play our part in building the Burkina Faso we want.
Je suis ému et très content de vous voir.
I am moved and very happy to see you here in Burkina Faso since the events of the SNC. It is more than a pleasure that you have chosen to come here to Burkina. You have surely been told that it is a country frequentable. We told you that it's death here, it's war.
C'est un pays infréquentable. On vous a dit que c'est la mort ici, c'est la guerre. Il n'y a que du négatif.
There is only negative. We painted Burkina black here, only blood flows, weapons. This is what is said elsewhere. Thank God you arrived safely. You were able to be about the lasso, live with us, our culture, what binds us Africans. You were able to communicate.
Être à propos du lasso, vivre avec nous notre culture, ce qui nous lie, nous Africains.
With many other nationalities who came to celebrate with us, everything went very well. You are of our standing, and I hope that you are very well received, very well lodged, and that you managed to communicate with your brothers here. It is one important message that you send too.
C'est un message important que vous envoyez à tout le monde.
Everyone, and nay, you will be the ambassadors of this message when you return home, that Burkina is very frequentable. We live in Burkina Faso. What they want to make you believe that is not the Burkina is what he draws to get people to flee Burkina, and they depict all of.
C'est ce qu'il dessine pour amener les gens à fuir le Burkina. Et c'est toute l'Afrique qu'il dépeint comme ça.
Africa like that for them. Africa is misery, Africa is famine, Africa is war, which is responsible for these wars. We need to unite. But they have always been there to divide us to be able to reign better. Slavery our ancestors experienced. Until today we are fed up in our.
Mais ils ont toujours été là pour nous diviser, pour pouvoir mieux régner. L'esclavage.
Flesh, but it continues. The grandfather was deported, torture, and still, when they had their war we supported him. They paid us in monkey money. Others were killed when they tried to claim. Several of them died in their village. With the after effects of the war, never recognized the work of the African, our mission. It is first of all to awaken Africa, and who better than you from the diaspora, to make people understand what Africa is. When I see you united in this association, I feel even more proud, because it is all we ask for. Today our fight is to be able to unite, because united we
de la Diaspora, pour faire comprendre ce que c'est que l'Afrique. Quand je vous vois unis dans cette
are strong. To divide we are weak. They have always worked to divide us. I urge you to spread the message, so that Africa can unite. We have been lucky or unlucky enough to live through war for several years, and at one point we had to say enough is enough. We are fed up.
Ils ont toujours travaillé à nous diviser. Je vous exhorte à passer le message pour que l'Afrique puisse s'unir.
We have taken our responsibilities, and we let us realize today more than ever that we were right to take our responsibilities. Because these armies were installed here, were never able at any time to monitor our territory, to see the terrorists who came to kill us, and
Et nous nous rendons compte aujourd'hui plus que jamais que nous avons eu raison de prendre nos responsabilités. Parce que ces armées étaient installées ici.
leave with all the means they had. When we asked to leave today, we were able to acquire a good number of means which allows us to wage our war, and to ward off the threat, and to indicate, I would say, we were able to equip our forces and reconstitute our armies. They
un bon nombre de moyens qui nous permettent de faire notre guerre et d'éloigner la menace et de l'endiguer, je dirais.
don't like that. Obviously, they will create other plans, but we are here and we will hold on thanks to you, who are far from them who support us.
Mais nous sommes là et nous tiendrons grâce à vous qui êtes loin et qui nous soutenez.
We will always stand because the African is resilience. We have suffered enough. The first thing you could do for Africa is to send the positive message. Enough looting, enough death. It is time that we unite and work. We only ask to live with dignity, to live.
Assez de morts. Il est temps qu'on s'unisse et qu'on travaille.
Free, pass the message to awaken consciences. Some leaders always try to put their people to sleep and continue to pierce their people. For the benefit of the West, this must stop. Who better than you to convey this message to the different people? Africa must wake up. Young people must wake up and no longer allow the same policy continue. It is not possible. Africa is still virgin. Everything is business in Africa. Look at how our cities are. We can also develop our health and education systems. We can develop everything. So in this rich Diaspora, we have all the specialties. Today in Burkina, we are thinking about set up one university polytechnic just to train scientific engineers, and I think you will be welcome to learn the second time, because as long as we do not train the youth so that we ourselves can produce and transform here, on site we will always remain slaves. Sovereignty is all together. We are fighting for food self-sufficiency. Those who can invest in the agri-food industry to transform our products here, you are welcome, producing us everything here. Everything grows on our soils. We have experienced everything. After a year or so, everything grows in Burkina. Those who want to invest in agriculture are welcome. Those who want to invest in processing are welcome. Education, we want to transform the school, because the formatting that we are currently experiencing, it is from the school. They have channeled us so that the intellectuals for the most part cannot think, get out of the furrows that they have a trace. Thank God the conscious ones are waking. Up. We need more. We need to change the educational system. You are welcome. And there are many other paths. They were in plundering our wealth. Today we are regaining control. And we are never going to leave our wealth behind, because we want to live. We want to see our children cared for, educated, grow up in peace and live in a healthy environment. So we are open, and you will be welcome in Africa to develop. Your continent, to unite your continent, and to pass on the message of this unity. It is very important. Continue to pass on the message, so that the young people wake up, who no longer leaves us leaders to make slaves for others. This should not be allowed. There are certain countries today where we want to send messages, but I think that your voices carry even more, because you are ambassadors. Wherever you are, whether in America, in Europe, your Caribbean, you are ambassadors. And when you speak, it can wake you up, and I urge you to speak. This is the mission that I entrust to you, to wake up.
This battle, this war, we are going to win it, and we are going to overcome imperialism, which activated these terrorism in our region, to hope to bring us back in these colonial times, to maintain us under their yoke, to exploit us until the end of time. Africa is waking up, and no one can still close the eyes of Africans on our realities. No one can still come to divide us, to impose on us what they want. That's why we have done everything to be here today to speak to you, but also to come and wish good luck to President John Mahama. We will work together to strengthen cooperation between Burkina Faso and Ghana, and also between the AES and Ghana, because we have many challenges together and we have always been able to overcome them. There is no reason why we are not united and that we block imperialism. I am honored to address you, Your Excellency, Mr. President, on this special day, on behalf of the entire Burkina Faso community in Ghana. Your Excellency, Mr. President, the Burkina Faso community in Ghana speaks to you from the bottom of its heart to say to you, Newango Aidanse Fofo Akwaba Akra. For this new year, may the Almighty grant you and your entire family a diamond of health for the ear. On is soft. Your Excellency, Mr. President, your arrival today in Accra has fulfilled a deep dream of the Burkina Faso diaspora in Ghana, to see one day its great leader, Captain Ibi, 10 sons of our ancestors, children, prodigies of Africa. Truly, this dream that thousands of Burkina Faso people in Ghana may see you, admire you, encourage you, carry you high, and tell you that they are resurrecting with your arrival. This dream that was still yesterday unexpected is a reality today. We now have faith in the future, proud and attached more than ever to our mother country, Burkina Faso. This is why, Your Excellency, I can tell you that the Burkina Faso diaspora in Ghana is constituted of an unconditional BDP on which you and the whole nation can count. Note that we, the Burkina Faso diaspora living in Ghana, we are beyond the concept of BDP. For us, it is a duty to defend the homeland. So we are DDP, Your Excellency, the community. That speaks to you today is a miniature Burkina, because it is constituted of the quasi-totality of the socio-cultural, linguistic, regional and professional diversity that can be found in Burkina. Some of our members arrived in Ghana a few years ago or a few decades ago, while others may constitute the 7th or the 10th generation of their ancestors, who came to this free land of Africa even before the beginning of the inhuman, barbaric and criminal colonization imposed on our continent by the wild imperialism that came from far away. Nowadays, the Burkina Faso diaspora in Ghana is estimated at about 4 million people, of which more than 3/4 are now integrated and have a second country, Ghana. This situation reveals to what extent an excellent cooperation and a fraternal relationship between Burkina and Ghana imposes itself as an imperative. By deciding against winds and seas to invite you to his investiture and by honoring against cyclones and mountains. This invitation, His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama and Your Excellency have launched a decisive tour for the two countries, for the IAS and Ghana and even for all of West Africa. Thank you for always being in touch with your peoples and their stories. Excellency, Mr. President, we would have liked to talk to you all this evening, but we will take advantage of this African wisdom which says, the mouth that speaks must have pity for the ear that listens. However, before concluding my speech, allow me, Your Excellency, Mr. President, to convey to you two important messages entrusted to me by the community. These are two. Firstly, the concern for obtaining documents of identity and nationality of our compatriots in Ghana. Members of the community will be infinitely granted special measures that you will like to take to allow them to regain their Burkinabe nationality and to express the fullness of their Burkinabe. Secondly, the facilitation of our economic return to Faso through the facilities for the transfer and creation of our companies in the country. It is with a deep feeling of honor and immense joy that I take the floor on this memorable day on behalf of the Burkinabe community living in Ghana to wish His Excellency the President of Faso, His Excellency Captain Ibrahim Traore, President of Faso, a warm welcome to Ghana and to this room. Your presence, Your Excellency, here confirms the interest that you bring to the Burkinabe diaspora in particular and in general that of Ghana. Also, at this beginning of the year, I would like to seize the opportunity to introduce you on behalf of the entire Ghana diaspora our most sincere wishes of peace, health, prosperity and success in your noble and exalting missions. May the Almighty accompany you in the realization of your ambitions for our dear nation. Your Excellency, Mr. President of Faso, your fight for peace, national sovereignty and African dignity deeply inspires admiration and respect, not only in Burkina Faso, but also here in Accra, in Ghana. Your determination and leadership show a resounding echo both within the Burkinabe community and within the today's mobilization is a testimony of the immense support of our diaspora with more than 4 million members of Burkinabe who undertake and are proud of your actions for our dear country. This is why, Your Excellency, we salute with just value the construction project of the Black People's Institute where the Burkinabe diaspora, especially that of Ghana, will be able to come and resource themselves. On their behalf, I would like to express our firm support and our commitment to contribute to the struggle you lead every day for the good of the Burkinabe people. We are aware of the challenges, but also of the victories. The lives saved, the hope given to the youth, the dignity restored. For this, we express our deep gratitude. We pay on the same occasion a tribute to the strong defense and security and to the VDP, the Volunteers for the Defense of the Fatherland, who fight to the supreme sacrifice for the inexorable reconquest of the integrity of our territory. Your Excellency, your presence here at the invitation of His Excellency Mr. John Dramani Mahama reaffirms the historical fraternity between our two peoples and reinforces the confidence, the image, the pride of our Burkinabe community in Ghana. We know that you carry a message of hope. This diaspora, wherever it may be, is tomorrow committed to the development of our nation. Allow me to conclude my speech by wishing that your stay here in Ghana is crowned with success and blessings. May God, the Almighty and the Merciful, be in control of everything. Together, with faith and determination, we will overcome all obstacles. In life or in death, we will win. It is an immense pleasure and an honor to be here among you. And it is for this that I thank God for allowing this meeting to take place. God, thank you. 10:56. We were able to arrive well this morning, and we are very proud to be among you and to exchange with you. It is really an honor. First of all, I would like us to observe a minute of silence in memory of all our martyrs who
Je vous remercie. Souhaitez donc bonne et heureuse année 2025. Priez Dieu
fell under this barbarity. Thank you. I would like to wish you a happy new year, 2025. May God bless you and grant you a healthy life. May God make all your businesses successful, prosperous, and may there be union and love in your respective families and among you. May God protect you throughout this year, 2025, and help you realize your dreams. I would also like to pay tribute to our valiant fighting forces, who fight with their body and soul, as you can see, so that our Burkina Faso remains standing. Noble work, men of integrity. Each time they throw themselves into the mud, they know well that some will stay there, but duty calls them. This is the job of the army. We often feel nostalgic, but those who have the chance to defend Burkina Faso today, we must encourage them and applaud them.
ceux qui ont la chance aujourd'hui de défendre le Burkina, il faut les encourager, les applaudir.
When they leave, we will not cry for them, and we will have pity on our fate. If we cry for them, we must avenge them. Pay tribute to them as much as you can, because it does not allow anyone to get up and leave their homes to face the dangers, knowing well that they may not return in the evening. But this is what they do every day, and they have sworn to defend our dear country until the supreme sacrifice. And the fighting forces hold their bet. Today, more than ever, our armed forces go wherever they want. At the moment I speak to you, there are several operations through several groups, and we are inflicting colossal losses on the enemy and pushing him back little by little out of Burkina Faso. This battle, this war, we are going to win it, and we are going to overcome imperialism, which activated these terrorism in our region, to hope to bring us back in these colonial times, to maintain us under their yoke, to exploit us until the end of time. Africa is waking up, and no one can still close the eyes of Africans on our realities. No one can still come to divide us, to impose on us what they want. That's why we have done everything to be here today to speak to you, but also to come and wish good luck to President John Mahama. We wish him good luck because the challenges are numerous. Many challenges await him, and I wish that you can accompany your brothers here. Pan-Africanism is a rather complex, but you, people, it is quite easy for you to lead this Pan-Africanism, well, because the people must love each other. The people must support each other. The problem very often of Pan-Africanism is among us, leaders, but we are going to put everything in place so that the leaders can go in the direction of their people, because the peoples are already integrated, they are Pan-African. If today, Ghana decided to bring President John Mahama to the head of the country, it is a strong message, and I wish that you, Burkinabe, living in Ghana, you can accompany President John Mahama. The task will be difficult. There are certainly challenges to come on the security level, on the economic level. I wish that you can accompany the forces of defense and security in Ghana as much as you can, both on the intelligence level and on the economic level as you can. Support them as if you were supporting the Burkinabe armed forces. I'm telling you something, the challenges can be very numerous. In no case should you lose hope. You must accompany them and help them on all levels. 1A nation does not survive as long as it does not have a strong army. This is why I reiterate to you to support the forces of defense and security in Ghana. It is they who can help the country to rise to the economic level and to flourish. Then, I urge you to love the people here, to live in perfect symbiosis, in perfect harmony, as you are already doing very well. As I said, the peoples are already integrated. The problem is at the level of the leaders. Continue in this sense. Support your brothers in Ghana. Support them as much as you can. 1650. And above all, show this integrity. A country of integrated people must be a model. Burkina Faso must not create a problem. Burkina Faso must be a solution. You have always known how to behave through all your leaders here. Wish this dynamic to continue and that you can accompany the new president in his enormous task to revive the country's economy and above all, to defend this country. We will work together to strengthen cooperation between Burkina Faso and Ghana, and also between the AES and Ghana, because we have many challenges together and we have always been able to overcome them. The arrival of the new president must be a moment for us to warm up these relations and to bring them to the highest level. In the coming days, we will be able to see what can be done for the benefit of Burkina, of the interior, as well as of you who are here. The grievances immediately raised by the representative are current grievances. And I think that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has to be able to reorganize the diaspora so that we can solve these problems as easily as possible. This is why the councils have been established and the administrative documents and other documents.
Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Just hope that you're doing super fine this Sunday. I don't know whether it's morning, evening, daytime, whatever you are. All I believe is that I know outside there are a group of folks, there are a group of black folks. You can be Jamaican, you can be from the Caribbean, you can be from the United States. You've always have a plan of coming to Africa. Definitely, regardless of the country that you want to come, because I understand different aspirants have different countries of their choice that they've chosen they want to come. Some want to go to Kenya, some want to go to Tanzania, some want to go to, Uganda, some want to go to Burkina Faso, some want to go to Congo. Regardless with the task that you want to quench. It could be adventure, it could be relocating, it could be investment, it could be anything. Well, just try to reflect a number of things. I'm not trying to fear among anybody, but try look at things that are happening in the United States today. There's a lot of craziness, there's a lot of chaos, there's no stability. It is at this point that you, as a person who wants to invest, you don't want to invest in a place where you don't know whether you wake up tomorrow, right? But look, Africa is big with 55 countries, which is so much promising. And look, while other population is declining, Africa population is increasing. This has to be a big indicator whether to choose to move to a given continent or not. If you choose to move to Africa, know that the foods are so much healthier as compared to westernized food. 2, the climate is so favorable. That makes you see even white folks, because initially it was prejudged that white folks cannot survive in Africa. But I'm seeing a lot of white folks relocating to Africa, staying, having all these things and, enjoying time with the locals. What about you, a black folk? It can be easier for you, maybe for a few weeks or months trying to adapt to the weather because it's a little bit hard over there, but with time your body gets to adjust with the temperatures over here and everything just gets fine. So I see this as a great information. I see this as a good news for black people, especially while it's still early 2025, it's still February. You have a plan of relocating, moving to a different country. It is always good to make that choice, because I hope you and I can see that the United States, it's not stable. Bearing everything that is happening, the mass deportations, the craziness over there, the mass shootings, the mass killings, and everything that is going on, you're a person who is looking forward to raise your kids in an environment that is so that is so promising. I believe you have a chance. Choosing one country in Africa, you have a chance. You stand a chance of owning a family safely without having the stress of all those insecurity things that are happening across the world. And also another important message that I have is we are visioning a time where we are having a black unity. Blacks are now realizing that the only asset that they have is joining hands, is coming together. Whether you're a black person from Jamaica, whether you're a black person from the UK, whether you're a black person from the United States, whether you're a black person from Africa, whether you're a black person from Congo, whether you're a black person from Brazil, the only asset that a black person has is black unity. First, understanding black unity is teaching us about who we are. And I thank Ibrahim Traore for teaching African kids Pan-Africanism. Teaching Africans, African Americans, Black Americans, Pan-Africanism. The last time I checked, America wants Americans alone, to be alone. It wants you to be lonely. It doesn't want you to connect with people. Because look at the social life in the United States. At least not all parts, but most of the parts. The social life is so crooked. The social life is so doomed. People are living lonely in those houses. People are living life with fear. You don't want to live your life like that, right? You're a person who is looking. You're a person who is outgoing. You're a person who is looking for a fresh breath. You want to socialize with the community. You want to socialize so people won't judge you because of your color. I understand things happen, right? And Africa is not perfect. At least I'm not far-fetching that Africa is perfect. But you get to notice different. While it also has its own challenges, but there are things that we can contain, or rather there are things we can compromise. But for the bigger part, that is having the black excellence. You're a person who is looking to be innovative. You're a person who is looking to just start your family. You're a person who is, I think this is a good message for you. And Africa is always open for everyone who want to start afresh, want to have a new look for everything that is happening. I hope that this is a new dawn for everyone who is looking for a better future for their family, for their kids, who is looking for the security of their kids, who is looking for the future of their kids in terms of investment, in terms of innovation, right? Now, somebody asked a question. What about Black Americans who doesn't have anything to offer, like physically? I believe that not everyone is a blank slate. In as much as you might not have the resources to offer to Africa, you have idea. You can change ideas into opportunity. You don't have to have a lot of money to do this, right? You can change this by making the ideas that you have, sharing the ideas that you have with these young youths in Africa, right? Some people want to move, but that is trained because of money or because of something like that. But I pray and I hope that God will open your ways for anybody who want to move. God will open your ways and you'll get to figure it out. Like, if it's meant that you're going to be setting your foot in the motherland, definitely you're going to do that. Just have faith, just have hope that this is going to happen. And it's true indeed, it's going to happen for you. God is going to make it happen for you. So while I was watching this video, I had a lot of seeing black leaders trying to unify, stand against the oppression for the longest time. It is time for black folks across the world to wake up, to stand up, and to reclaim their throne. Because what's happening right now is that we need to reclaim our throne. And I think that's what black folks are doing across the world. So let me know what you think about this video. As usually know, this is a presenter Eugene Talk Stories, and I'm hoping to see you in my next video. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.